These are my Pacific and Americas Week 3 Pickems. So first up, the China playoff Pickems. There will be a video with them tomorrow, but not today, since I'm also doing a power ranking for playoffs and kind of like reviewing how stage 2 went with how strong these teams look for playoffs. So there will be a separate video tomorrow. And yeah, for Pacific and Americas, we're gonna do the usual. First up, look at the map elos for these teams and then head into Pickems. So let's start with Pacific and their map elo ratings. So here we are, and as you can see, there are only a couple of teams like DetFM and Zeta are kind of the only two teams who have definitive perma bans, and there are a couple teams in DRX, Global, PaperX, and Boom who have either never played Sunset or Corrode. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. These teams have played, most of the teams have played most of the maps coming in through the rotations, so these elo ratings are now a bit more accurate. So let's take a look at them, and we can see at the top is Gen G, and I think that's very fair. They've been really strong all year long. I think the biggest problem with the top half of these power rankings is that Paper Rex is in between DRX and Talon. I think they are pretty much on par with Gen G. One of these two teams is the best within Pacific right now. It's kind of hard to judge which of the teams is better, but they are the top two for sure. And following them, I think it's fair to say that DRX and Talon have been performing the best within stage 2. So I think the top 4 by the elo rating is fairly decent, with PaperX maybe needing to be a bit higher. Then after that, we have RRQ, T1, Nongshim, and DetFM. And I think it's really fair to put them that these are all so close by each other. They've been kind of similar in strength. DetFM obviously being the good surprise of the stage 2. Really fun to see them performing well, and May popping off. It's always a pleasure to watch. So yeah, I think these are the teams who could all realistically make a run and go to champions, but I do think that Gen G, PaperX, DRX, and Talon are the favorites at this point to end up in the top 4, and then we'll see whether that means that they will go to champs. And then the bottom 4 are Global, Team Secret, Zeta, and Boom, and I think that's also representative of how stage 2 has went. So yeah, I think fairly decent, the elo ratings already, and I think they're gonna look better and better with each match that we are gonna get. So now let's head into the pick'ems for Pacific. So first up, how did I fare already in the games thus far? I've been in week 1, I've been 7-5, then 5-1 and 4-2 in week 3. So now for week 4, we have first up Gen G versus Nongshim. I think Gen G are clear favorites. They've just been the best performing team within Pacific over the whole year, and yeah, they've looked dominant already in stage 2, so I think they are clear favorites. Then PaperX should also be favorites against Talon. I think PaperX are continuing their form that they've shown at Masters Toronto with their win at Toronto, and yeah, they've been really good in stage 2 as well, and yeah, they obviously had this stumble against Zeta last week, but I think they'll get back to form with this match against Talon with this win. Then DRX against Global. I'm gonna pick DRX. I think yet again they're clear favorites over Global. They've just been the better team overall. Yeah, I don't see a way where Global wins this match, if I'm being honest. Then Boom versus Zeta, two teams that are most likely not gonna make playoffs, although Zeta with the win might have a shot. And I think Zeta are gonna win. I don't think they're gonna be as good as they've been against Paper X. I think there was kind of a flash in a pan. Just everything going right for them. But I still think even with a slightly better performance than they've shown the rest of the year, but not as good as against Paper X, they should still be able to beat Boom. Then next up, RRQ, I think are gonna win against Team Secret. And again, they are just the favorites in this match. And then the last match, T1 against DatFM. This could go either way, but the fairy tale run of DatFM kind of has been going a bit too well, I would say. So that's why I'm picking T1 here. And yeah, these are my pickems for week 4 of Pacific. And now we're gonna continue with Americas, and we're gonna take a look at the map elos first up. And here we are, and as you can see, C9 is the only team who hasn't played either Corrode or Sunset. Every other team has played at least one, if not both of these maps. And EG and 2G are the only two teams who haven't played Bind yet this year. So let's get into the ELO ratings. We still have G2 at the top, even though they've been playing with Baby Bay instead of Leaf. Kind of impressive that they still managed to stay on top with the ELO ratings. With how the teams look right now, I think Sentinels are the better team than G2. But as soon as Leaf gets in, I think G2 are favorites again, just based off how they've been performing all year long. Then after these two, we have 100 Thieves and Cloud9. Cloud9 obviously being the regular season merchants, and they've had quite easy matches as well. So that's why the ELO is a bit inflated. I wouldn't put them as like a top 4 team at all, and for sure not by that big of a margin compared to the next teams. The team that is here in 5th, Crew, I would say that they are probably a top 4 team. I would assume that Crew can manage to make champions and make top 4 in playoffs, but we'll have to wait and see for that, of course. Then after Crew, we have NRG, Lev, and EG, who are really close, with 2G also being kind of close, who've looked really good the last couple of weeks. I think that's fair. Maybe 2G is a bit high actually, but these other 3 teams kind of fit there. I think MIBR should be around where these teams are in terms of ELO, but MIBR has been kind of low in their ELO rating all year long. And they've also had a very terrible start into stage 2. And then after 2G we have obviously Loud, and then MIBR and Furia, with MIBR, what I just said. And Furia has been probably the worst team in all of VCT this year. So that's why it makes sense that they're at the bottom. So now let's head into the Americas Week 4 Pickems. So in as you can see, in Americas I have not been performing well at all. Got 2-4 in the first week, then 3-3, and 2-4, and 3-3 again in week 3. So I've been under 50% actually. I've been doing quite poorly with Americas, but it's the region that I can watch the least and that I have the least of a grasp on. So let's still head into my pick'ems. First up, I would favor Cloud9 against 2G, even though 2G has been on the rise a bit. Cloud9 are still just insane in regular season, and they're quite good at beating teams that are not as good at them, and there's rarely a regular season upset with a worse team winning against C9. Then we have kind of like a middle of the table banger, MIBR against NRG. This is a match that could go either way. NRG has been looking fairly decent with Scuba in, and MIBR has been really struggling this year. So it could go either way, but also based on form, I would give it to MIBR since they just beat 100 Thieves. They kind of look a bit on the rise, like they are getting back to the form that they had within stage 1. So that's why I'm choosing MIBR. Then next up, I'm picking Sentinels over EG. Sentinels have just been one of the 2 best teams within Americas all year long. EG has not looked great thus far. I think that's an easy pick. Next up, we have Lev against Crew, where I think there's a plausible way how Lev wins, with Sato performing really well, for example. But I would still give it to Crew. I think they've looked better overall. I really like the team, and I think they will make champions this year. So yeah, I'm seeing Crew winning this. Then next up, G2 against Furia. This should be a free win. Furia has been horrible all year long. G2 has been really good all year long, and even with Baby Bay, they've been performing fairly well. So that's a gimme for me. And then lastly, I would pick 100 Thieves over Loud. This is again a match where I could see the upset happen with Loud taking this one, but I'm not overall sold on Loud with this current roster. And 100 Thieves has been better than them within stage 2. They've looked fairly good up until last week, where they got ran by MIBR, but I think they'll have a nice bounce back win against Loud. So these are my pick'ems locked in, and I hope I'll do better than I've done thus far within Americas, and I wish you guys luck with your pick'ems as well, and I'll see you guys next time.